Hello, grade 8s. This is the second lesson on patterns. I suggest you check out patterns 1. So patterns 2 is basically like you're kind of getting introduced to some simple little problems such as this one here. So the following pattern of squares continues. So we have one square and then it doubles to two squares, then it triples to three, and etc. You can see the pattern going, right? So it says the length of each square is 3. I'm going to record that. So each side is 3 long, right? So this is 3, this is 3, that's 3, that's 3, this is 3, that's 3, and etc. Like I know there's 3 and 3 in here, right? Outside there's a 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, and 3. And I know there's 3 in here and here and here, but I'm not too concerned about the inside because if I look at this problem, it says in A here, complete the table of values to show the relationship between the number of squares S, I'm going to call squares S, and the perimeter P. So perimeter is all the way around. So I'm not concerning myself with the sides that are inside, like the 3's ends here. I'm only going to add up all the 3's that are on the outside. Okay, so if I only have one square, square 1, what's the perimeter? If I go all the way around this, 3, 3, 3, 3, that's 12. Second set of squares when there's 2 of them, the perimeter is 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, or 3 times 6, which is 18. The third one, again, if we go around, notice that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 24 perimeter. So I'm noticing that if I was to continue, this is going up by 6, right? And that's important because that's going to help me find what's called the equation. This will be 30. The equation, remember, is in order to find P, P is equal to 6 times T. That's 6 times S, I apologize. 6 times S, and that means I have to go 1 times 6. And how do I get to the output number 12? I have to add 6. And if you notice that, you do that for all of them. You go 2 times 6, add 6. 3 times 6, add 6. 4 times 6, add 6. So that's the equation P, perimeter, is equal to 6S, add 6. Okay, now I'm going to draw a graph from the table. So with a ruler, I don't have one here, so this will be my x-axis, which is my P, my perimeter. Over here, this will be my x-axis, this is my S, and so S goes up by 1, so this will be 1, this will be 2, 3, and this will be 4. And I'm only going to go up to 4 because that's what it shows. P's, I have to go obviously from 0 all the way to 30, so going up by 1s, counting by 1s won't work, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 probably. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That will definitely get me there. So 20, 25, 30. So there we go. Now I plot my points. Here's my pair. 1, 12. 1, 12. 12's about there. Right between 10 and 15. Kind of just below half. 2, 18. 2, 18. 18 is about there. 324, you can see I'm just kind of estimating, right? Not sure exactly, but it should be linear. 430, that one's easy because it's right on there. And we can see that if I was to draw a line, it should be a nice straight linear line, right? Okay, so what is the expression for the perimeter in terms of the number of squares? Explain what the variables mean. So when it says what's the expression for perimeter in terms of the number of squares, it's asking for this, my equation. It's another way to say, what's the expression for perimeter in terms of squares? So what's the relationship between these two letters? Well, I said it, so I'll just repeat it. So the perimeter is equal to 6S plus 6. So describe what that means in words. So that means that the perimeter, I'll write it in words, the perimeter is equal to 6 times the number of squares plus 6. So I'm just taking, you should be able to take this expression and then write it in words, right? And finally, so if this pattern continues, what is the perimeter when there's 52 squares? Okay, so remember the equation, P is equal to 6S add 6. In this question, it's saying, what is the P? What is this when we know that S is 52? So I'm going to substitute that number there into the S. So I rewrite everything, except I don't know P. P is equivalent to 6 times, that means times, right? 52 add 6. And so, what is the perimeter when we have 52 squares? Well, we go 6 times 52 add 6. So that looks like 312 add 6 is 318. So the perimeter will be 318 if there were 52 squares. And so this, grade 8s, is an example of how you would use kind of like a somewhat of a real life problem situation where you have pattern and you have to make a table, you create a graph, you write an equation. Sometimes they call that an expression, comparing perimeter and square. So we have an equation, you're asked to write it in words, and then you're asked to take that equation and find an unknown. Like in this case, it was what's the perimeter when we have 52 squares. So you're going to use your equation and solve that. All right, and that's kind of called patterns 2. Please make sure you know patterns 1 and 2 before you watch the third one called patterns 3. And I hope that helps. Have a great day.